Hi, second grade. Today, I'm going to show you how we're going to make our tiles. Now, we talked about symmetry, and it's very important that whatever we do on our paper is symmetrical. The first thing you're going to do is fold your paper in half this way and open it back up. Then you're going to turn it and fold it the other way. I've already done mine, but I want to do it again so you can see exactly what I did. And now you're going to have 2 lines of symmetry. You're also going to have 4 squares, and that's what we're going to be drawing in. You need to think about some shapes, at least 3 different shapes, that you either like or that have some special meaning to you. They could be organic or they could be geometric. Organic shapes are shapes that are found in nature. It could be the shape of an animal, a leaf, a flower, a mushroom, or it could just be kind of a shape that you made up that you could draw a few different times. Also, a geometric shape would be a shape that would be something like a square, a rectangle, a triangle, a circle. Any shape like that would be a geometric shape. I really like painting and art, of course, so I'm going to start mine with maybe making a paintbrush. And I'm going to make sure that all of my pictures are going to face or point to this spot right in the middle. So I'm going to kind of turn my paper so it's easier for me. And I'm going to start by making kind of a paintbrush shape and make a long handle here. All right, there's my paintbrush. Now I'm going to turn it or rotate it. And in the same spot right here, I'm going to make another paintbrush. And I kind of messed up a little bit, so of course I'm going to go back with my eraser. Okay, and then I'm going to make the handle again. All right, so now if I fold my paper this way, they're going to be touching. They're going to be symmetrical. I'm going to rotate my paper again and go back in, make another shape here, another paintbrush shape. All right, and then I'm going to rotate it again and do the same thing again. Now, all of your shapes are going to be maybe slightly different because you're not using anything like a stencil. So there we go. They're a little bit different, like I said. So I'm just going to go back around and make sure that, they're all fairly even, fairly similar. Might need to make the handle a little bit longer on these. So always make sure you go back and just check your work over, make sure it looks nice. Because when you check your work over, just like in math or reading or social studies or science or writing, if you check your work back over, you might find a mistake and then you can correct it and make it look even better. There we go. All right, now there's my paintbrushes, and I also want to make something that looks like a flower. I can go in the corner if I want to, and I'm going to make some petals like this. Kind of looks like a sun. You could put a sun shape. I'm going to do the same thing on this corner, but I'm making sure that everything is pointing toward that center. So I'm going to make it look similar to the other one. Okay, and I think it's easier if you rotate your paper again to the corners. If you want to add something to the corner, you can do any shape you want in these corners. Okay. There we go. Those look fairly similar. And now you want to add one more shape, at least. If you wanted to add some different ones in here, you could put something here and here, as long as you did that on all 4 of your squares. I'm going to put maybe just something simple, like maybe a bent star. I'm going to try to do that here on the inside. And I'm going to rotate it because this way I'll have something that is symmetrical right there in the center. Okay, so if you fold it this way or this way, it's going to line up, just like these corners and my paintbrushes. Again, you can definitely add something to any of these spots here, but I'm going to keep mine just like this for now. And we're going to go over these lines with crayon. Now I'm going to pick either warm or cool colors. So mine here are, the warm colors are orange, red, and yellow. The cool colors are purple, green, and blue. I feel like using warm colors. I'm not going to use these together. I'm going to pick one or the other. So today I'm going to go with warm colors. You can pick warm or cool. I'm going to go over all of my lines with crayon because that will create something called a resist. That means that the crayon is waxy and it will push away or resist the watercolor when we go back in with watercolor. This way, it will kind of keep your colors separated. If you want to leave your background here white, you can, or you can paint it and fill it in. I think I'm going to leave mine white today just for time. So go here. Very good. All right, so I've got that yellow there. And then let's see, I'm going to use red for my star because it reminds me of maroon, throat bent. All right, and now I'm going to use orange for my paintbrushes. There we go. Now when you go back in and paint, you can either go back in and use the same colors as the outlining, or you can go back in and use different warm or cool colors inside. It's really up to you, however you want to do it. Sometimes it's fun to use different colors, so I might try that today on some of them. And I noticed going around that I need to also go to this corner. Again, just check over your work, make sure it looks good. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and get some water. And remember, I'm only using warm colors. So for the star, I think I'm going to go in and use yellow because that's also a warm color, even though I outlined it red. I think it'll be kind of pretty to add a different color to the inside. Now you could go back in with red here if you would rather do red, but I like yellow on mine. So let's say you liked football. You might have made these different footballs pointing to the center. You might make these maybe your jersey number, but it would be the same in all the corners and face toward the center. There are lots of things you can do with this project. Now I'm going to rinse my brush, and I think I'm going to go back in with red for my paintbrushes here. I'm going to fill in very carefully my paintbrushes. And you can see how I kind of got off a little bit, but it didn't absorb. It stayed orange. So it's pretty cool. And I'm going to go back in here. Make this red. We have a couple more. Okay, and one more. There we go. That's looking pretty cool. Now the only other color I don't have on the inside is orange. I'm going to go back into these flowers and I'm going to use orange. Now if you wanted to make these yellow, you could go back in with yellow, but I think I want to do mine orange. You also don't have to keep everything the same color. For example, if I wanted to make this paintbrush yellow and this one red and that one orange, I could do that as long as I'm using only warm or cool colors. So I'm using all warm for mine. But if you like the cool colors better, you could use cool colors. Alrighty, and I'm going to rotate. Now be careful not to smudge your work. So when you turn it, just be careful not to get your hand in the paint. It's very easy to do. So you can twist it, turn it however you want, and just keep your hand on the outside of your paper. Okay, there we go. All right, now when it's all done, you're going to raise your hand so that I can come around and get your paper and your tile and put it on the trays we're going to be using to dry them off. All right, now I kind of feel like I could do more with this. So You could do all kinds of designs in here, and you could also paint in the background, but I just wanted you to get an understanding of how this works. All right, have fun.